Good day. Today the topic is top things you need to do after your spouse passes away. I recognize this isn't a super fun topic, but one that is often underlooked, and it's really helpful for people in a time where they likely need it. I'm Rob Tatro, head of the Tatro Wealth Advisory Group here at Canaccord Genuity Wealth Management, and it brings me great joy to be here today. Give me a share, give me a like, and also please subscribe to the videos. We'd love for you to put out some great content, and you should be kept in the loop with respect to our videos. So first of all, your spouse has passed away. My condolences. First things first, don't rush, okay? Don't rush into anything. Don't feel obligated to make some immediate decisions. You definitely don't need to do anything on day one or day two. I think you should deal with yourself and deal with yourself emotionally before you do any of that. It's going to be a stressful time. It's going to be a stressful time, I can assure you that. Hopefully you have a support system in place for that. Today we're going to focus mostly on the financial aspects and some of the administrative aspects that you should take care of. The emotional aspects is something totally different. I think you definitely should take care of that. But let's focus on this for today. By the way, this is my real handwriting. I know it's not great, but it's the best I got. The decisions. The first decisions you're going to want to have to make are the decisions with respect to the funeral. So you're going to plan the funeral effectively, and you're going to hopefully have sufficient cash flow in order to plan that funeral. If not, you do need to make a withdrawal. And now where's that coming from? RRSP, TFSA, who knows? But hopefully you can rely on someone like your investment advisor to help you with that decision if there is an immediate cash need. Once the funeral is passed, you do have a bit more time. Now you can start thinking about other things such as CPP benefits, CPP survivor benefits, and maybe pension benefits. Okay, so if your spouse worked, had some pension benefits, maybe had a pension at work or had some survivor benefits at work, maybe had some life insurance at work. We'll get into life insurance. Let's get into it right away. So life insurance. You're going to want to dig deep into life insurance to see what your spouse had in terms of life insurance. Okay, collecting life insurance isn't a one-day process, right? It is, you do need to have to submit the forms. You do need to take a time to properly fill that in and collect it. Make sure you check your work, your spouse's work, and make sure you check any other policies that he or she may have. You're also going to apply for income assistance if needed, right? Income assistance. All right, so if there's a cash flow need, if perhaps you weren't working and your spouse was working, there might be a need for income assistance, so you're going to definitely want to apply for that, and that's a process, and you get a subsidy for your income. You're also going to want to take a whole bunch of administrative things. So I'm going to call it admin, and in here we're talking about your bank accounts, changing your bank accounts, the credit card, the cell phones. You've probably had 2 cell phones. The co-op card, making sure that all the maybe the bank accounts, the insurance on the mortgage for the bank account, but even on the admin side, there could be things such as the RRSPs to the RIFs. So you're going to want to make sure that you take a look at the RRSPs and RIFs. So this, you're going to contact your financial institution. You're going to take out anything they have. Hopefully you've been coded as the beneficiary on that, and it's a fairly easy, fairly smooth transfer from RSP to RIFs. You're going to need a death certificate. You're likely going to need a copy of the will for stuff like that. So you're going to want to convert those to your names. You're also going to want to claim the life insurance, definitely, and you're also going to want to create a budget at this point. So now we're getting into the later stages. You're going to create a budget. What we often see is that one spouse is in charge of the finances and the other spouse is sometimes left behind. So if it so happens that you're the spouse that's in charge of finances, you probably have an idea what your budget is. You probably have an idea for what your monthly expenses are. So you're probably okay. But if you happen to be the spouse that's kind of in the dark with respect to finances, this is extremely important. You're going to want to talk to your planner or your investment advisor. You're going to want to create a budget because now there's a whole bunch of income that is no longer coming in. So the budget is critical, and are you going to need assistance with that budget? Are you going to be able to function, right? You're also going to want to apply for the credit cards in your own name potentially. So back on the admin side, credit cards in your own name. You're going to want to convert everything that's jointly held is going to have to be converted to your own name. You're also going to want to make sure that you decide, if you have any renovations or stuff that was happening, large expenses that were ongoing, how are you dealing with those? Are you continuing them? Are you kind of cutting those off? So I'll call that large expenses. And how are you dealing with large expenses? Vehicles. You have multiple vehicles now. Are you going to be wanting to sell the vehicle? Are you going to stay in the home you currently are? Does it make sense? Did you have mortgage insurance? Did you have anything to cover the debt that you owed? And how are you going to deal with that? If it's a painful, if it's not a pleasant thing for you to be in that home, maybe you don't need the space that you had. Maybe you're retired and you had a very large house or a very large condo and you don't need all that space anymore. So consider moving if it's a need for cash flow. Now, all of this and most of this is going to matter with respect to creating a plan. It's critical when you go from 2 incomes to 1 income, or when you go from one pension or no pensions to a pension, or you have all these extra expenses that didn't exist before. This would be a very, very important time for you to review your financial plan. If you don't have a financial plan, now's a great time to get one done. Additionally, after all of this, you're going to have to deal with the will, probating the will, getting the estate set up, paying the estate tax bill. If you need help with that, there are some trust companies that can help with that. Talk to your investment advisor. Talk to us about that, your financial planner about that as well. How to probate, what's the best way to do it, how to move the assets, pay the tax bill. These are all things that are going to have to happen in the next year or so after your spouse passes. Again, folks, it's a stressful time, but if you start itemizing the stuff you need to do, if you build a checklist, and if you attack them one by one, it's a way that you could potentially get rid of them, knock them off, and take care of them one by one. The plan is important. We have put out a webinar on this, planning, so feel free to check out our webinar. Also, I'd love to hear your comments on this. If you've gone through this, if you have any advice for us, please let us know your comments. Subscribe to the video, share, and like. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Rob Tatro from robtatro.com. Thanks for tuning in.